Last week we got a new trailer for Shrek 5. I know I hated the teaser, but maybe my thoughts will change now that we're actually seeing footage from the movie for the first time. My thoughts didn't change. The first issue you'll notice is that the characters still look bad. Unfortunately, my prediction in the last video, hoping that the teaser was a Sonic movie situation, where the designs will get so much bad press that they'll change them, didn't come true. I know it was wishful thinking, but really, look at these designs. How did an entire company of people all look at this and think it was a good idea? But whatever, we already knew about these designs. But even if you look past it, the trailer is still bad. In my video about the original teaser, I said this. Also, I did like that the trailer made an effort to show that it's going to have that slightly more adult edge that made the early Shrek movies special, that the later films gradually lost more and more of.
Zendaya? Oh, damn.
This trailer also did that, but here it honestly got on my nerves. It felt like the trailer had constant adult jokes and light swears to earn them that PG rating.
My ass added. They've even tightened up my odontodon.
I'm caked up like a friggin' bakery.
Hell to the no, I can't.
If you actually count the number of times it happens in this trailer, it is pretty low, but that's only because the trailer is so short, at about 90 seconds. And there isn't even a lot of dialogue at a few points. This kind of frequency expanded to the full 90-minute runtime has a very high chance of getting extremely annoying. Like they're trying to force a PG rating of all things. They'll give that rating to any movie these days. Another source of comedy in this trailer was just Donkey. Almost every joke in it was him annoying people. They're clearly pushing him because he's the funny, marketable character like the Minions. I hope this is only for the trailer though, because Donkey annoying people works best in moderation. And can easily get annoying if it's used too much. Also, another staple of Shrek was making fun of Disney. And is that what this moment was supposed to be?
Wanna date a snowman?
Shrek.
This doesn't really make fun of Disney. This character doesn't look like Olaf, doesn't act like Olaf, and doesn't say or do anything related to Olaf. The only similarity is that it's a snowman, and the only joke is that it's a snowman saying something creepy. And haha, Disney has a snowman character too. They also put a lot of attention on Donkey saying a version of the Whirlwind Adventure line from Shrek 2.
Alright, that's more like it. Shrek and Donkey on another whirlwind adventure.
What you saying is
Shrek and Donkey off on another
no, don't say it.
on a whirlwind
Donkey.
adventure.
Which, is that even like a popular line? I looked it up and Google's AI thought I was talking about the new trailer, and there's no merchandise of it or anything. There's just a Pinterest post and like one meme and the blank template for the meme. What even is this meme? Who are these people? If I look them up, the first thing I see is just this meme again. But referencing this line feels like an attempt to get people to see this movie based on nostalgia, particularly for Shrek 2. As while it was always liked, it became widely known as everyone's favorite Shrek movie well after the release of the fourth and final, at the time, Shrek movie. Also, while this trailer had a lot of jokes, we barely get anything on the story. So, according to the beginning of this trailer, Shrek and Donkey are traveling to further away, and that's pretty much all we get. And we're already not off to a great start. In the late 2010s, there was this complaint that so many animated movies were simply just the story of the characters going on some kind of journey or quest or road trip. And while I feel like now that's less of an issue as we seem to get more animated movies with different and interesting plots, this movie seems to be going back to that story, which is a story I'm kind of sick of. And while I'm not saying it can't be done well, you're going to have to do a lot to make it more interesting. And this trailer doesn't give me a lot of confidence that they will. The fact that they don't show us much of a story is a very worrying sign. Since this movie was first announced, most people saw it as a cynical, unnecessary unnecessary cash grab. And the trailer's job should be to show us that they actually have an interesting story, and this trailer barely gives us any story details. I feel like if they had a more interesting story, they'd show that in the trailer more. The trailer focuses more on the comedy, which I'll say again, I wasn't amused by. The only details we get about the story is that they're going to a big city called Further Further Away, which Far Far Away in Shrek 2 already was a big city. And we see the characters getting chased by cops and arrested, which again, they already did in Shrek 2. One of the only unique things in this trailer is Donkey turning into a sheep. And also Shrek's Zendaya daughter, who seems to be separate from the family for most of the trailer, flying with this witch. So let me throw out some guesses about this plot. Shrek is overprotective of his daughter, but she is 16 and annoyed with how #lame her dad is, and how he treats her like a child, and she wants some independence. So she meets this witch character, who is cool and edgy, but Shrek doesn't like her, and he thinks that she's a bad influence on his daughter. But when Shrek tries to tell his daughter that she can't see her anymore, she runs away with this new friend. And Shrek, Donkey, Fiona, and those two ugly boys have to go after her. Eventually, in the climax, Shrek and the others find Zendaya, but her new friend betrays her, and they all almost die. However, Zendaya does something heroic to save the day, and Zendaya learns to listen to her dad more as he was right about her friend, and Shrek learns to put more trust in his daughter as she proved herself in the climax. The end. That wouldn't be a good plot. It's extremely basic and overdone, but those are the vibes I'm getting from this trailer. And if that actually is the plot, yeah, I can see why they didn't want to show it in the trailer. Overall, I feel like this trailer had the possibility of changing my and everyone else's minds about Shrek 5. Show us that you have a great story and that the sell of this movie isn't just bringing back Shrek. Because why make this and age everyone up if you don't have an interesting story to tell with it? And I can't say for certain that they don't, but again, if they did, don't you think they would have shown it off at all? But the movie's not coming out until next year, so like I said last year, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Also, you couldn't even bother to put ogre ears on the 5 in the logo.